in this first Google Sheets lesson, I'll be identifying the various elements of a workbook. We'll go over the tabs of the workbook, the name of the file, the columns, the rows. We'll go over how to enter data in a workbook, how to edit the data, different ways that a mouse looks and what those different things do. Inserting formulas using AutoSum and the autofill, as well as some basic formatting in the cells, like merging and just, number, that sort of thing. This is to address our learning objectives straight out of our syllabus. Number 2, working in Google Sheets to gain proficiency through various projects. And number 5, learn to input and sort data, create charts and graphs, use this data to predict future trends. And secondarily, this is Montana Technology Content Standard 4. Okay, so to start, I'm going to open up a new Google Sheet. So if I'm in a new tab, I go up here to my Google Apps, I go to Sheets. This will take me to Sheets, which is the Google version of what is Excel in Microsoft. Of course, there's some templates, but I'm going to choose a blank one. So I have an untitled workbook right now. This is just one spreadsheet. However, I can add multiple spreadsheets to my file and name them all different things if I want to. Just double click on it. I can rename it Classroom. I could rename this one Volleyball. I can rename them whatever is appropriate. However, you cannot rename them the same thing. It turns red. It won't let you do it. So that is how Sheets work. We'll go back to this one that I called Classroom. The name of the file. If we click inside this up here, we can name it whatever is appropriate. I'm going to call this one Lesson 1 because that's what we're working on right now. These are our columns. They're all given a letter. Okay, so I can make them bigger or smaller by dragging this arrow back and forth. And these are our rows, all designated by a specific number. If I told you go to C3, then this would be the cell reference C3 because it's C and then row 3. So column cell references are used all the time in a Google Sheets program. So in order to enter data, first you just really want to click on the cell that you want to put data into. I am going to enter the data from this social networking project. So this is the data that I'll be entering just to show you how to do it. So in cell A1, it showed me activity 1, and then it says student name, but I'm going to go ahead and put my name. In cell A2, they typed top 5 social networking sites for 2010. That tells you how old this one is. And they actually didn't put anything in the next ones, but I can keep hitting enter down until I'm in row 7, which is where the next typing occurs. So in A7 ranking, I hit tab to go over one, site, tab, average age per user, tab, and minimum age to join. Now either I can go, if I want to go back and edit something, say I spelled something wrong, I can double click on that cell and it'll give me my cursor and I can change it. And I can use my arrow keys to go over further if I needed to, the arrows on the keyboard. Or I can click on this cell, then come up here in my formula bar to change anything. So that is how you can edit that text after you've already entered it. Another thing I promised to show you was the different ways that your mouse looks. I'm going to go ahead and enter a couple of these. One of the ways your mouse can look is a hand. If I have the hand mouse, that means I can click and grab and drag this and let go of it somewhere else. Again, the hand, which hover over the edge and you'll get the hand. You can actually click in the middle of a cell and drag through multiple cells and highlight them to get a larger selection. And then you could drag them somewhere else if you wanted to. So by clicking in the middle with your regular white arrow mouse, it's going to allow you to select. Click and drag through to select. If you get a hand, you won't be able to do the selecting. Here's another one, the plus. This is important because if I highlight these first two, there's actually, logically speaking, the computer understands that 3, 4, 5 should come next, and I can get it to do that for me by getting this plus sign mouse, clicking, dragging down, and then letting go. And it realizes that that is the trend that I was looking for. That can be really useful and save you a lot of time. And that is actually called the autofill. Okay. So now I just need to finish adding a little more data here. And remember, the keystrokes of enter and tab help you move around pretty well. So if I go enter, and then enter will take me down, enter, and I can use my arrows to move around, or I can go tab, well that will take me over as well, which might be a quicker keystroke if you're typing letters. However, if you're over on numbers, you might be using your number key like I will right now. And the enter key will, oops, undo button, really important. It took me over. There we go. And the enter just takes me down one. And minimum age to join. And you can enter that text. Other things that you'll want to know is, although not required in this activity, you can merge cells, which makes these four, if I see I click with my white arrow mouse, drag through, select. If I come up here and click this merge cells button, it makes them all into one big cell. Which then for something like a heading, you could change it from left horizontal alignment to centered. It might make it look nicer. In addition, you can format numbers. So if I wanted to format these so that they were a number with a comma and a decimal point in 2 places, you could do that. Minimum age to join, you have those same types of choices. There's percent, there's scientific notation, there's all sorts of different types of currency, dates and times. There's also plain text. So whatever is the appropriate thing. Now, do I really need 2 decimal points? 2 decimal places when I have an age? Probably not. So I can just hit the arrow over here, decimal point reduced, to get that back. Some other just regular old formatting. If you drag through those, maybe you want to bold them or italicize. There's even a strike through option. There's a change of color. So those are all the types of just regular little formatting things. And remember, click and drag through, merge cells. Those are the types of formatting that you'll want to know how to do. Not all of it might be required in your first lesson, but those are important. Okay, Next thing, I want to show you the auto sum, because anytime I have numbers that I want to add, I can type in equals sum, and then I can drag through the cells I want to add, and notice how it called them C8, which is this cell, column C, row 8, through, which is how they use the colon there, C12, row 12. So all of them, C8 through C12. Closing parenthesis. That will add all of those numbers together. That's one way to do it. Delete. You can actually choose many functions from this section, but we'll go over those in a video to come. So that's it for today.